Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Alright, welcome to a whole brand new series of training by V-Team International. For the next whole year, we're going to be providing you with many tools for building a fantastic business with QuestNet. Right? Firstly, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Pathman Senatiraja. I'm a V partner with V-Team International. Now, for the next 2 hours, you're going to be with me. I'll be covering a module which I've done worldwide called the 4 pillars of network marketing. And in my experience, the past 5 years building the QuestNet business, traveling to basically all the countries where we have a business, I realized that the whole area of training has many areas. Okay, there's too many modules, there's too much confusion, everyone is picking up a book and reading and learning from various other networkers around the world, and it reaches a point where they reach a point of confusion. Now, in my past 5 years, I've been exposed to some of the greatest network marketing leaders. The leaders in QuestNet, Mr. Vijay Ishwaran, Mr. Ganesha Rink, Mr. Joseph Bismarck. Right? And I've learned from them. And I've also read various books, attended various trainings by other leaders in QuestNet. And I, in the past few months, summarized into one module called the 4 main pillars. Okay? Now 60 years ago, in the industry of network marketing, when it started somewhere in 1959, there was not much tools available. Right? There was not many books, there was not many cassettes, there was not many VCDs available. So a lot of people very much depended on their uplines, right, their leaders for the flow of information and knowledge. However, today, right, every bookshop you walk into, we have a whole section for network marketing. You can read from A to Z in under the whole industry of network marketing. Okay, now the problem with that is you do not have a filtration system on what you should use or shouldn't use. So you read a book, you like it, you think it's good, you apply it without counseling with your leadership. And that has led to many problems in the industry. Okay? Now most people who come into network marketing, those people who come into QuestNet, the beauty of our company, the strength of our company is the simplicity. And in V-Team International, my experience the past 5 years, we don't want to create very confusing training modules. We want to simplify it. So the past 5 years I've traveled, I've met, I've done trainings for thousands of people, right, ranging from Iceland all the way to Hong Kong, to Makassar, Indonesia, right, to Bombay, to Sri Lanka, to the Middle East. And I realized that I've summarized it to 4 main pillars of our industry. The 4 basic things you need to know to basically go out there and build a powerful network with QuestNet. Now the first pillar is something a lot of people take for granted. Right? Because wherever I travel, wherever I meet people, the first question they always ask me or the various other leaders is that, Pathman, what is your secret of success? You're flying around the world, you've made a lot of money, you're buying homes, you're buying cars, but what is your secret of success? And to be honest, most of the time, I basically can't give a very straight answer. I thought about it, our secret of the success of many networkers revolves around many things. Alright, from the mentors they choose, alright, from the amount of knowledge they have, the amount of work. But if you want to simplify it, I realized this. I started network marketing when I was 23 years old, just fresh out of law school. I was a lawyer. I worked for a very little while and became a full-time networker with QuestNet. Okay? And I did not have much credibility. I was 23 years old, I was very young. My circle of influence were mainly students who didn't really have the financial resources to get into the industry. So I had a lot of challenges, okay, starting at that young age. Now along the way, the past 5 years has been the greatest adventure of my life. I've become very successful. I founded an organization called Generation Gold with my brothers and a fantastic team of people I have all over the world. And everyone keep asking me this question. Pathman, what is your secret of success? Right? Now most people think it's your marketing skills, is your talent of speaking or convincing people. Right? Most people think it's how you dress, and that's fair enough, how you dress matters. But to me, if I wanted to share with you, it would be this first pillar. The first pillar I feel is the most important. Alright, thing that networkers need to understand before they embark on this journey. Alright, now if you ask me my secret, it's very simple. My secret from day one in 1999 when I started, all the way to 2004, secret is very simple. I never switched off. Never. Alright? It sounds very simple. Never switch off. Okay, Pathman, what does it mean? Alright? So everyone who has come into network marketing, who has approached me from various other companies and said, this industry doesn't work. Network marketing doesn't work. Alright? I joined, I didn't make money, I failed. Okay? I put this much money, I joined, I spent 6 months, I failed. So first golden rule of our industry. You can never fail in network marketing. You cannot be a failure in our industry. It is an impossibility. The only way you can be a failure in our industry, if you quit. If you stop, you don't make money. Alright? Stop, you fail. Simple. A lot of people come in, they work hard for 2 weeks. Alright? Gung-ho, excited, passionate for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, they take a 3-month break. And then they start back again 2 weeks. Alright? Then they take a 6 months break. And after a period of 10 months, 11 months, they walk up to you and they say, Pathman, you know, I've given it my best, but it doesn't work. Now think about it. The only reason why it never worked for people like that is because you can't expect to build a multi-million-dollar empire, a multi-million-dollar industry, a multi-million-dollar team in our company with working hard for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Doesn't make sense. From any angle, it doesn't make sense. So the fact of the matter is this. A lot of people who claim they have failed in network marketing, I guarantee you, if you bring them in front of me, I will talk to them, I'll ask them 10 questions, and you will find out that at one point in their networking career, especially within the first year, they switched off. They took a break. They got distracted. Alright? Some great grand auntie's wedding they attended and they got distracted for 3 months. Alright? They had a project at work and they totally switched off and they got distracted. Okay? So if you ask me what is my secret of success, from 99 up to 2004, I never switched off until today. Alright? QuestNet and this whole concept of network marketing is in my system. I don't switch off. Right? I didn't have much talent, much credibility, much exposure to this whole big wide world, but I had this one thing. I was persistent, I was consistent. I never took a break, I never switched off. Now this is the simplest thing you need to understand about this whole network marketing industry. Alright? So most people, alright, work very hard for 1 month and then they take a break for 3 months and then they start again. It doesn't make sense. Now Mr. Vijay, my mentor, the man responsible for taking QuestNet, QI, Quest International from zero to today one of the largest companies around the world. Okay? Now Mr. Vijay told me, in network marketing it's like pushing a car. I'm sure some of you in your life have pushed a car when your battery died or there was no fuel or petrol in your car. Now which is the most difficult part about pushing the car? The most difficult part about pushing the car is always the beginning. You suffer when you're pushing it the first few meters. Alright? Because the whole weight of the car is on you. You're pushing it really hard. Okay? Now, here's what most people do. You push, 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 push. After a while, it's no longer hard work. The wheels start turning, a momentum builds up, and you can reach a point where you can just 2 fingers and run by the car. It's that simple. Right? Those who have done it, trust me, I've done it many times, you will realize this. Okay? Now most people who come into our industry, they have a different way of doing things. They push the car for 3 meters and they stop. Then they push again and they stop. And they push again and they stop. And they push again and they stop. Trust me, not even 10 meters they're going to die of a heart attack. Right? Because every time they stop pushing back again, you're using your most energy. You're starting the momentum all over again. The hardest work is always in the beginning. Right? So my exposure to my leaders, to various networkers around the world is this. Number one, most of them start off very well. Anyone who comes into network marketing starts off very well. Simple logic. There's excitement. It's a fantastic company. Alright, we have an amazing line of products. You start off, okay, Pathman, I want to do this, come on, let's go. 3 weeks, you attend every training, every presentation. You call your leaders, your uplines 25 times a day. You're on the net 50 times a day. Then after 3-4 weeks, what happens? Many people take a break, they switch off. They say, Pathman, 1 week, I need to go and do some stuff. But trust me, in this industry, you take 1 week off, mentally, right? It'll take you 1 year to come back. You take a 3-week break, it'll take you few months to come back. Because you lose that momentum, you lose that energy, you're left out of the loop. Now don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, no, I don't want you to be there 7 days a week doing network marketing, neglecting your family. No. It's not the activity switch off. Alright? Most people don't network 7 days a week. I used to. I still do. It's in my blood. Right? I can go anywhere and I still network 7 days a week. But for the new guy coming in, I'm not going to demand this from him. I'm not going to tell him, listen, you have to go on show plan 7 days a week. He's going to be a bit shocked. He's going to be a bit reluctant. Okay? Now what I tell people is, when you come in, you can never switch off mentally. Network marketing must be here all the time. That's how it should be. Alright? So switching off, I mean, is that most people switch off mentally. They got a wedding to attend to. Let's say a relative is getting married. They attend the wedding, they're totally off. Now I attend a wedding, fair enough, I don't show the presentation during the wedding, that's not advisable. Alright, don't take away the glamour from the couple getting married. But what I do, I walk around, I shake hands, I pick up name cards. I call them next week for presentation. That's what I do. That means I'm always on networking mode. Alright, just to share a story with you, we took a family holiday to Auckland, New Zealand. And my mother made us promise that, listen, we're going on a holiday, no networking, alright, I don't want you to do anything, just be cool. So we landed at the airport, we made a commitment, we told my mom that, listen mom, okay, we won't network. We landed at the airport, we got into a taxi, and there was a chap driving a taxi from India. Alright, and he's like an itch, you know, you just have to ask him the questions. So I asked him, you know, so how long have you been driving a taxi? Alright, oh, so many years, how is it, tough life, not enough money. And next thing you know, the next day we set an appointment, we just started doing presentations. You know, 2-week vacation, we signed up over 14 people in New Zealand, which was meant to be a vacation. But that's the way it is. You never switch off. I go into a plane, I fly around the world 8 months a year, I pick up name cards. Right? I meet people, I pick up a name card. Right? Everyone says, in network marketing, you should have a name card, calling card. In some parts of the world you call that. Alright? With a calling card, I don't judge a networker by how many cards he gives out. That's easy. Stand at a local bus stop and give your card out to everyone. I judge a networker by how many cards he receives. Alright? So I can go for a 1-week trip somewhere and walk away with 200 name cards. My second trip back to the same country, congratulations, I have 200 prospects to meet. It's going to keep me busy. That's the way of a networker. That's the mentality you need. So the next time somebody comes and tell you, I got into this industry and I failed, bring him to me. I'll ask him a few questions. And like I said, I guarantee you, at one point, he switched off. Alright? Now switching off means you totally have nothing to do with the network anymore. Right? So your activity very much is required for you not to switch off. So what is the activity in network marketing? You got business presentations, attend. You got trainings, attend. Alright? Having coffee with your leader is a fantastic activity in network marketing. Having potlucks where you invite everyone home just to have a casual dinner is a powerful way of still not being switched off. You're not doing a presentation. You're not doing an intense presentation. But you're with your leaders, with your group. So your mind is still switched on. Alright? About this whole industry, about QNet. So I realized, traveling around the world, that the greatest challenge a leader has is keeping his group switched on. I'm telling you, you may not need 5,000 people being switched on. If you got 10, 20 people switched on, you will have one of the largest network marketing organizations in the world. Simple logic. Right? So the first pillar Alright, the first rule, this is the golden rule. This is like, you know, the mother of all rules. Okay? Alright, is that in network marketing, if you want to see success, don't switch off. Never switch off. Remain switched on. Never, 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 never switch off. Alright? And you will immediately see a tremendous amount of success. Okay? Now I read this quotation once somewhere. Very simple. It reads, if you don't quit, you will make it. Now very simple, but truly, this is what I'm talking about. Alright? If you don't quit, you will make it. The only way you will fail in network marketing is you wake up one morning and say, I quit. I give up. You understand? I don't want to do it anymore. Then of course you're not going to be successful. Everyone, I have leaders in my organization, powerful leaders, who went through 1 year not seeing much results. 1.5 years not seeing much results. Just at the verge of switching off. But they hang on. They stuck to it. They kept working hard. Right? And somewhere, someday, it happened. Big time. And they're walking away with 2,000-3,000 US every week from this business. Right? Now think about it. The saddest part about people in our industry is they work really hard for 9 months. Not much results. Okay? And then they decide to quit. The question I want to ask you and I want you to ponder upon, which I thought a lot about, is that what if on the 10th month, day 2, if you kept going, you signed up the next Vijay Ishwar, you signed up the next Kurt Brink, right? The next Sati Senati Raja, the next Uma, the next Dave, right? People who basically just set the whole network on fire all over the world, right? So I want you to think about this. It's a very simple thing. A lot of people say, Pathman, that's it, never switch off. That's your module. They're expecting me to come with some calculation and some mechanics and mathematics. You don't need that. You don't need to read 100 books about the industry to be successful in the industry. Because most of the people I know who are extremely successful in the industry had only one thing. They never switched off. Right? They may take a break with their children, but their mind was still on. They were still on SMS with their leaders. I can take a break. I occasionally take a one-day holiday. Right? Doing my own thing. But from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep, my SMS machine, our communicator, you know, it's on. You can communicate with the whole world. Mr. Vijay, from the moment he wakes up till the moment he goes to sleep, he talks to hundreds of people via SMS. That's what I mean. You have to remain switched on. Okay? Don't quit, you will make it. Remember the words. If you don't quit, you will make it. Simple, simple, with a lot of meaning. Very powerful meaning. Okay? So, first, pillar or a summary of the whole world of training in network marketing is never switch off. If you maintain this, right, and you can see a difference. You don't switch off for 3 months, you see a difference. You don't switch off for 6 months, you see a difference. But if you're going to be the kind of person who's going to push the car, stop, push again, stop, push again, stop, push again, stop, you're going to burn out without seeing results. But if you keep pushing that car all the way, no stop, the momentum picks up. And before you know it, right, you become like one of us with just one finger on the car. You're earning passive income, your network is growing. That's what you should aim for. But the price you have to pay is never switch off. Okay? Now, the second pillar. Okay? Now I read a lot of books. I've attended a lot of seminars around the world. Alright? I've met various leaders from various companies around the world. And our whole industry, network marketing, started around, I think, 60 years ago, 1959 or something like that, 40, 50 years ago. Okay? And I don't question some traditions or concept which has been around for 60 years. Right? I don't think it's a smart thing to do. If something has been working for the last 60 years, I want to apply it in my organization. Alright? Now wherever I traveled, whatever I did, whatever book I opened up, whatever VCD I watched, I kept hearing this word. The word is called edification. Alright? Edification, from the key word or root word being edify. Now, being a not very intelligent person myself, from the words angle of it, I never understood it. Okay? Now, I did a little bit more research. I tried to understand what edification meant. Because every network marketing company in the world, every powerful, successful network marketing organization in the world I have ever met keeps talking about this concept called edification. Alright? Now in my past 5 years, I never heard much about it. Okay, but now I'm hearing it all over town. I'm hearing people saying that this is a core value of network marketing. Without this, you can't run a network. Now I took it very seriously. Now I practice edification very strongly within its limits in my organization. But I found it to be necessary. I found it to be empowering. Alright? I found out that without edification, you can't actually run a network at all, if you're serious about building a huge network marketing organization. Now edification is very much misunderstood. Alright? Firstly, you're still thinking what edify means. Let me give you an example. Let's say all of you are sitting in a room. We have 6,000 people in the room right now. And I'm on stage. Okay? And I'm going to invite my mentor, our group managing director, right, Mr. Vijay Ishwaran, up on stage. I have a choice. My first choice is I stand up on stage and say, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and invite up on stage Vijay. Correct? Right now, some of you are new. You're just like, oh, okay, Mr. Vijay, oh, okay. You understand? He comes up. Now, if I stand up on stage and say, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great privilege and honor for me to stand on this stage to be given the right to introduce the gentleman who's about to come up. As far as I'm concerned, he's the man responsible for me being here, being who I am, being the success I am. He's my mentor, my brother, and a man who has taken Quest International, QuestNet from zero to one of the most powerful network marketing companies around the world. A man who today has changed thousands of lives around the world and is still changing thousands of lives around the world. His integrity, his value system, I wish one day I can live up to the standards he lives by. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I will not accept anything less than the loudest standing ovation for our group managing director, my mentor, Mr. Vijay Ishwaran. Right now, Mr. Vijay comes up. Okay? Now, remember the first introduction? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Vijay. And my second introduction. Now, the difference between the first and the second was this element of edification. Alright? Because a lot of people there who don't know Mr. Vijay, like how you and me know him. A lot of people out there don't respect him the way we do because they just don't know. They think, oh, he's MD, very good, nice meeting him. Alright? So it's necessary for us to edify, because it empowers anyone to come up on stage and have the effect they need to have speaking to people. It's very important. Edification is crucial in our industry. Alright? So I'm sure all of you, for example, there's two types of edification. Edification by words and edification by action. Alright? Two types. Words and action. So remember that. Words is what I demonstrated to you just now. Alright? Now in many parts of the world they are uncomfortable with this concept called edification. But I'm telling you, it's part of the culture. Every country, whether you're European, American, Asian, is part of the culture. You edify people on a daily basis. People edify their parents, their bosses, their mentors, their teachers. Alright? So many people. And the people who need to be edified deserve it. That's the first rule. First rule, your edification must be genuine. So I'm going to invite somebody to come up here and speak. Alright? And let's say this guy is not very good at public speaking. He has never been up on stage to speak before in his life. And I come up and say, ladies and gentlemen, the next person I'm bringing up is a fantastic public speaker. He's the greatest public speaker who ever lived. He puts everyone to shame. He is demanding 40,000 US for 1 hour to speak around the world. Please help me welcome Mr. So-and-so. I mean, his name is not so-and-so, but I say Mr. So-and-so. Right? He comes up and he stands up and says, and he's shivering, he's scared. You understand? Right? To a point where he can't even speak. Now, my edification was not genuine. It was not connectable to the person. So edification must be genuine. It's like when people say, when people introduce me, they say, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a man I know who looks much better than Tom Cruise. That is very genuine as far as the edification is concerned. Right? I'm just kidding, okay? Right now. So edification first must be genuine. Second is divided to words and action. Action, my favorite example is this. Let's say I'm sitting in a restaurant. Alright? I'm sitting there with 3 of my downlines, my leaders. Okay? We're just planning how they're going to strategize opening up new markets. At the same time, Mr. Vijay, my mentor, walks into this room. GMD, Group Managing Director for Quest International. Right? He walks into the room and walks towards my table. I'm sitting down with 3 other people. What should I do? Logically, stand up. Yes or no? Actually wrong. You don't stand up. You jump up. I would jump up immediately and offer the chair to Mr. Vijay and pull up a chair later for me. Right? It's called due respect. So the 3 people sitting down there who have never heard of Mr. Vijay suddenly says, oh my God, my leader, pathman, just jumped up to give this gentleman the chair. He must respect this gentleman a lot. Let's listen to every word this gentleman has to say. Very importantly. You see, it empowers people. I believe edification is a powerful concept of empowerment. It empowers the words from the person you're edifying. You understand? Alright? So for example, if I'm going to say, this guy, you know, is a good friend of mine, so he speaks, you won't listen. I said, this gentleman basically is responsible for changing my life. And then you listen differently. That's edification. Alright? Now, one concept of education I like is that we have business presentation in hotels. Okay? After the business presentation, you're outside of the main room doing your closing, handling the questions the prospects ask. 1-header, 2-header, 3-header, you understand? Alright? And at that very moment, you and your prospect are talking and your upline walks past. What do? Alright? Oh, no, Mr. Ganesha, please, can you come here, please? You don't. You bring Mr. Ganesha and say, listen, it's a privilege for you to be listening to Mr. Ganesha speak. He's one of our founding directors, one of the greatest trainers I've ever met, a powerful networker. Alright? Right, Mr. Ganesha, if you could just, you understand? So immediately you are edifying Mr. Ganesha to this person. So he shuts up and he listens. That's the power of edification. Without edification, your words will have great difficulty to have power. Alright? Now, edification also, remember this, works 2 ways. You edify up and you must also edify down. So don't expect your downlines or your leaders to keep edifying, you know, oh, he's great, he's great, he's great. You must constantly, which I believe is more important, edify people in your organization. Alright, to me, by edifying them, you empower them, you raise them up to a higher level of confidence for them to go out there and build a powerful network. Alright? So when I meet one of my leaders with a prospect, and he tells the prospect, oh, meet Mr. Pathman, he's the founding director of Gen Gold, powerful networker, we partner, please come, you know, alright? I do the same thing. I tell the prospect, can I tell you something, young man? You're very lucky to be in his organization. He's one of my most powerful leaders. He's my general. What he has done in the past 6 months, not many people can do. He's a networker from the heart. Right? And once again, let me tell you, you're very lucky to belong to his organization. That's two-way edification. Right? If you just like receiving edification without giving edification, you got an ego problem. Fact. Right? So edification is not meant for the purpose of idolizing somebody. It's not meant to take somebody and make him, wow, you know, he's there, up there. No, edification is a simple mode of empowering that person to have a greater effect when he speaks to somebody who doesn't know him. Simple fact. Edification is a powerful tool to empower your leaders, your downlines, to have the confidence and belief to go out there and build a powerful network. Now, I have always believed that this concept has always been lacking in various networks I've seen all over the world. But some of the most powerful networks I've seen practices this. Alright? So remember, edification. Number one, make sure it's genuine. Alright? Number two, make sure it's guided to words and action. Alright? Don't take it to extremes. Understand the purpose behind it. Is to show due respect. It is to empower the people who are going to speak to others. Okay? But absolutely necessary. Okay? You can attend other trainings we have all over. We have our network seminar series. We have RevCons, VCon. In those areas, I do a longer module in edification with a few practical applications. Okay? But I hope you understand the basic understanding or fundamental principle of edification. Very, very important. Okay? Alright? The second pillar, edification. Crucial. Right? And if applied properly, you build a powerful network, you empower your people up and down. Right? Now the third pillar is a pillar on the relationship. If you look at any angle of business or personal life, the most crucial thing is the relationship. Father-child, mother-daughter, boss-employee. Alright? In our industry, it has always been upline, downline. Now this word upline, downline, a lot of people don't like to use, including myself. I'm using it here strictly for the purpose of the module. Alright? But I don't call my leaders, my people, downlines. I don't refer to them as TCO. I think the greatest insight you can give somebody is say, he's my TCO, meet my TCO. HA123456. You don't even know his name, you don't know the name of his children, but you know his ID number. Right? If you introduce me as your TCO, I will have a problem with that. Okay? But if you look at the fact of the matter, very simple. The most crucial relationship in our industry is the relationship of the upline and the downline. Okay? Now a lot of people think, oh, that is my downline. It may not be your direct. It may not be the person you refer directly. You may not be working directly with the person who referred you. Because it could be your great grandmother. There was a spillover, many reasons why you may not want to work with the person directly above you. Alright? But this relationship of upline, downline, many people are uncomfortable with it. Alright? They're uncomfortable with the fact, oh, I got to go to my upline. My upline is coming to me. Right? I got to sit down and counsel with my upline. Alright? If you remember block number 7 of the 8 basic building blocks. Counsel with your upline. Counsel with your leaders. Now a lot of people think it's difficult. It's against that. It's like, why should I go and check with them? Are they my bosses? Right? Can't I be independent in this industry? Now the first rule of network marketing, if you plan to do it alone, your chances of success are very slim, almost nothing. Think about it. Why wouldn't you want to go to your uplines? Why wouldn't you want to go and counsel with the leadership? Like Vijay always told me, the golden rule is when you see success, don't question it, copy it. Mr. Vijay Ishwan is my mentor. Alright? And I go to Mr. Vijay and I counsel with him. What can I do? He's my upline because I was referred by the company. I don't have an upline. Technically my upline is Vijay, Kurt, Japa, Mr. Bismarck. So I counsel with them. I get advice from Kurt how to build a network, fantastic networker. I get advice from Mr. Japa, alright, on how to basically work on the one-on-one. We call him the master of the one-on-one. Right? I don't want to be alone. I want an upline. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, do you have this relationship with your downlines, and do they have the relationship with you? That means, do you have relationship with uplines? Who is your upline? Who is your working upline? Because what you have to understand is that if this is your great-grandmother, she referred you, alright, and above her is your great-great-great-grandmother, and above is the working upline. This guy is active. Upline doesn't mean direct referral. Upline means you work with your working upline. Alright, because many people say, but my upline partner is, I don't even know who he is, my direct referrer up there. Alright? Oh, he's a 70-year-old man who speaks only Russian. Right? Then you identify a working upline. So my working uplines are the founders. I work with them. I counsel with them. Alright? Now if you do not have a working upline with you, you just basically increase your burden of work. It just becomes more difficult what you are doing. Alright? It's more harder for you to do that. So think about this. Alright? This whole concept of working upline. So what I do is, I spend a lot of time with my leaders. I'm their working upline. I've got the leaders, I've got Jagan, Giri, Krish, Prema, they're all working uplines. So they work with various people. But you see, if you are waiting for your upline to come and hunt you down to help you, because your upline may have 100 people is helping. So you may not have the opportunity to go, excuse me, do you need my help? Excuse me, do you need my help? Excuse me, can I help you? Alright, so here's my question. If you truly want to be successful, learn this valuable principle called seeking. If you think, I got into QuestNet, unbelievable business, I want to make it big, I need an upline who's going to work with me. Seek. Hunt your upline down. You know a working upline, go and wait outside his house at 2 o'clock in the morning and shake his gate. Excuse me, working upline, I need some help, I want to be successful. Alright? I always remember in my early days of network marketing, I was still fresh, I had a lot to learn. Okay? And Mr. Vijay at that time was traveling around the world. It was very difficult to get him, you know. So I remember once I called him, I SMS'd him, I said, Mr. Vijay, I need to come and sit down with you. And he said, yeah, I'm in Singapore, if you want to come and see me. So we said, okay. So we are in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Singapore. So it was about a 6-hour drive at that time, 5-hour drive. Now with BMW, I take 3 hours, okay? Alright, so it's a 6-hour drive all the way to Singapore. So I got all my leaders, there's about 3 cars, 4 people in each car, there's 12 top leaders, and we drove. Okay, some of them are part-time, that means they're working the next morning. Alright, so we drove all the way. Mr. Vijay stays in the Hyatt. Alright, so we went to the Hyatt lobby. At that time, Mr. Vijay had some corporate meetings. Alright, so he told him, really in a few meetings right now, if you want, please wait. Alright, I may take some time. We said, no problem, Mr. Vijay, we'll wait. So imagine this. We drove 6 hours. We reached there. We waited for another 4 to 6 hours downstairs in the lobby. And finally, Mr. Vijay came down after a lot of meetings he had. Alright, at that time Singapore was opening up in a big way. And he came down and he was very apologetic. He was saying, no, I'm sorry. So, Mr. Vijay, please, we just want to talk to you. So he sat down and all of us sat down and he shared 45 minutes of wisdom with us. And he had to rush off for another meeting. Alright, and we drove 6 hours back to KL, Kuala Lumpur. So basically there was 12 hours plus another 6-7 hours. So let's say 18 hours to spend 45 minutes with my upline. And it was worth that 18 hours of driving and waiting. So I seek. Alright? So start identifying who's your working upline. Hunt him down. Alright? Call him up. Excuse me, I'm your downline. I heard about you. I need your help. I need some guidance. Please come help me. And trust me, if he's a working upline, he's a responsible networker, alright, with leadership qualities, he will find a way of helping you. So this relationship is crucial. If you are solo, if you are alone, without an upline to go to, difficult. Trust me. So start looking up, find your upline. Now the beauty is, ultimately, V-Team is your grand upline. Right, so wherever I travel around the world, a lot of people come and tell me, partner, I don't have anyone, you know, I don't know who my uplines are, they all disappeared, they joined some mosquito companies, and now they're too embarrassed to come back. You understand? Right, so I said, no, you can work with me, here's my SMS number, even though I'm not physically there, I can work with you. So I'm on SMS with various leaders around the world. As a V partner, we support the global network. But this relationship is crucial, very important. You have to understand that. Alright? And the same thing you have to practice with your downlines. That working relationship. Alright? Now, we always have this joke. find an upline who's going to be a thorn in your foot. You know when you got a thorn in your foot? Every time you walk, it's like, you know, who's going to be there, who's going to push you, right? Who's going to motivate you, inspire you, right? Make you into a more powerful networker, make you into a more powerful human being. Okay? But sometimes they may not come running looking for you. Doesn't mean you keep quiet and decide to be a failure. Doesn't mean you decide to switch off. Right? You go hunt them down. Make calls. Who referred me? Okay, who's that? Find a working upline, you will. And in QuestNet, I have met leaders from every single company around the world. Because you must understand, when you are a leader in network marketing, it's like two surgeons talking, you know, sometimes. Right? They share a little bit about information, not too much. Right? So I meet various leaders from other companies. And the quality of people we have in QuestNet, the quality of care, the quality of responsibility, I've never seen in any other network marketing organization. Right? Because the guidance of our founders, they have instilled this in us. Right? So we always talk about rhythm, remember? RYTHM. Raise yourself to help. It's difficult writing like this. Raise yourself to help mankind. It's not a marketing gimmick. It's not a promotional tagline. Right? It's something our founders have instilled in the network. It's a code we live by. And that code is based on this relationship. So take this responsibility very seriously. That means if you are the upline and you signed up somebody, you are working upline, active upline. You have a responsibility towards that person. Don't allow that person to switch off. Don't allow that person to get distracted. You work with him. You work with him for a year, you work with him for 1.5 years. When he develops to become a powerful network, you, a networker, you have passive income. Today, in my past 3 years, under the guidance of Mr. Vijay, Mr. Ganesha Japa, they taught me, bill your people, partner. Your checks will automatically be billed. You bill your people, your checks are automatically billed. You understand that statement? I always, my first 2 years of network marketing, I was focusing on building my checks. So this relationship is crucial. Build your people. So all of you out there who basically say, oh, upline, okay, who's my working upline? Hunt him down, walk up to him and say, excuse me, I want to be successful in QuestNet. Can you please be a thorn in my foot? You understand? Because that's what I do. Okay? So the third pillar, which I feel a lot of people take for granted, is the power of this relationship between the upline and downline. Remember, the words are not important. I call everyone in my team, my family, my partners, my business associates. I don't like the word downline, but for this purpose, for this module, I'm going to use the word. But this is a powerful relationship which should not be taken for granted. Right? And as an upline, I am humbly asking you, don't neglect your people. Manage your time, build a team, get more support, don't neglect your people. And for those of you all who claim you don't have uplines, hunt them down. There's somebody who's working. And finally come to V-Team. We fly around the world helping everyone. That's how it works. We are the grand upline. Right, as I said, upline-downline relationship. Crucial. Focus on that. Be comfortable with that. They're not your bosses. They're there to help you succeed, because the richer you become, the richer they become. It's a win-win situation. Never misunderstand this relationship. They're there to guide you. They're there to counsel. They're there to teach you things they have learned from people greater than them as your upline. Alright? And that's crucial, that relationship. Now the fourth pillar is something very close to my heart, because I experienced this firsthand in the year 2000. Okay? So you got the first one, never switch off. Golden secret of network marketing. To be successful, never switch off. Right? Number two, this whole concept of edification. Empowering people to speak, build up their confidence, boost them up as powerful networkers. Number 3, get comfortable with this upline downline relationship. Find an upline to be a thorn in your foot. Alright, your chances of success, the time it takes for you to be successful is much faster. Now this 4th pillar is something I believe that the whole industry of network marketing rests on this foundation. My organization Generation Goal rests on this foundation. V-Team International is based on this foundation. Mr. Vijay's whole team in Quest International, alright, Mr. Richard, Mr. Kuna, alright, Mr. Magendra, Mr. Stefan, Mr. J.R. Meyer, his whole team he has put together, Kurt Japa, alright, is built on this foundation. Okay? The crucial thing you have to understand in network marketing is this. The whole industry is called free enterprise. You come in, you do whatever you like. You build it, you become independently wealthy. You go out there and make a difference. Okay? But here the point is, what is it based on? How did Mr. Vijay start from 0 to today 800,000 Quest networkers all over the world? How did Mr. Vijay take a company from 0 to 400 million US dollars? Right? How did we become the largest e-commerce company in Asia? Right? Maya Mint. Now we have banks, we own resorts in Koh Samui. Think about it. Right? We have more offices all over the world, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore. From 0, how did he build it? Was it corporate management? Was it skill? Alright? All these networks we see, Generation Goal, Dream Achievers, Titans, okay? Alright, the A-team, the winning team, various groups around the world. Think, how was it built? It was built on one foundation which I learned, which I practice on a daily basis, which is a priority over everything else, which is called the concept of relationships. Alright? I do a 3-hour module on this called relational leadership when I do leadership training. Alright? This is what it's all about. And let me tell you why I learned this the hard way. Alright? In the year 1999 when I started, we built a network. I started getting more money than I ever seen in my life. I was flying high. Alright? One of the most youngest, most successful networkers in Malaysia. Okay? In the year 2000, right, we had some negative publicity in the newspaper, right, because of jealousy and politics or whatever you call it. Okay? And I lost 99% of my network. And I was always confused. Why did that happen? And I went to my upline, my grand upline, my mentor, Mr. Vijay Ishwar, asked me, Ishwar, you know why? He said, what were you building? I said, I built the network. I got done, we did training, we did basic training, we had this, we had that. He said, no. Did you build relationships? And I said, okay, is that important, Vijay? He said, that is the most important thing you can ever have in building the network marketing industry. You want to be successful in QuestNet? Be a master at building relationships. Alright? And I learned that. And from 2000 to 2004, the whole Gen Goal, the whole organization which I built, the whole V-Team worldwide was built with a priority being relationships. The care factor. You care about your people, they are with you 100%. And today I dare stand here in front of thousands of people around the world and tell you that if any small negative publicity in the newspaper, none of my leaders will move. They will stay with me and we'll build a network bigger than we ever built. And we'll look at the newspaper and say, thank you very much, free publicity. That's what I call it. Alright, free publicity. Now I want you to think about this. This whole concept of building relationships. Alright, you sign up people, that's just the beginning. They are not with you 100%. Alright, for them to be with you 100%, for you to be able to have the influence to guide them 100%, for them to take your words on absolute faith. It cannot happen just because you're the upline, I'm the boss, listen to me. It doesn't work that way. The only way they're going to listen to you is you have a relationship with them. You care for them and vice versa. They care for you. They will listen. They will come and seek. They will empty their cup. Their mind, I mean, you know. Empty the cup. And you can build a powerful organization in a very short time. In the past 3 years, I built a much more powerful organization than I built my first 2 years. I've got leaders with me, alright, all over, okay, who follow me. We opened up new countries. We're opening up new countries as we speak. I'm confident to say I can take any of my leaders today and drop them in the Sahara Desert and they will sign up 3,000 people, including the camels, if necessary. And I want you to think about this. This pillar, the fourth pillar, is the foundation of network marketing overall, worldwide. Anyone will tell you this. Okay? Now all over the world, wherever QuestNet, QI goes in a big way, alright, we start a trend. Okay, like Malaysia, we just broke through the whole network. We hit 16,000 people in 11 months, never done before by any other network marketing company. We broke records. There were people who never saw any money in their life earning 3,000-4,000 US a week. Okay, I want you to think about this. Right? When any country we go in and we explode, what happens is the next month, after a year, after 2 years, after 3 years, right, you hear this buzzing sound. Zzz, mosquitoes or mosquito companies. Every time, Malaysia we started, Philippines, Sri Lanka, India, the very next day there's some guy who thinks he can build a company bigger than QuestNet and he opens up a mosquito company which shuts down in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Now what you have to worry about is not the mosquito company. But here's what you do when you find a mosquito company. Very simple. What happens when a mosquito comes near you? What do? That's what happens. Simple logic. They don't last 3, 6, 9 months. They don't know the price Vijay, Kurt, Japa paid to build QI and QuestNet. They don't know the price the V team paid to build. Alright, TG, Donna, Ranjit, myself, the price we paid to build. If you're not willing to pay a price, don't be a hero to start a company. That's what I tell people. Okay? Now the logic is, your concern is not the mosquito company. They will come and go, and trust me, they will keep coming over and over again. Alright? Your concern is, will your network be attracted to the mosquito companies? Will your leaders jump ship to the other mosquito companies? I'm telling you, it could happen. It happened to me in the year 1999, 2000, and it's happening to a lot of people around the world. But today it won't. Because like Vijay taught me, master the art of building relationships, you will never lose your people. Master the art of building relationships, you will never lose your people. That's a fact. So if you lost anyone in your network, that means you never had a strong enough relationship with them. Right? That means you didn't care enough for them. Right? Because you see, they're going to be attracted to short-term gain. And they may jump ship. The question is, if you have a relationship with them, the short-term gain is not attractive. The relationship you built over the past 5 years is much more important. The credibility of being loyal to one company is much more important in the worldwide network marketing scene or the worldwide market. Right? Because I always tell my leaders, fair enough, you think there's a more attractive company tomorrow out there, next year, the year after that, right? Right? What if there's a more attractive company after that? What if there's a better company after that? What if there's a more attractive company? This one shut down, a new one open. That one shut down, a new one open. Another one shut down, a new one open. I've seen this happen to hundreds of people in Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, all over the world. And after they jump 3 companies, alright, they no longer have the credibility to come back and promote any network marketing concept ever. See, Vijay told me, network marketing is based on one foundation. It's integrity. I've been with QuestNet from day 1. And I'm still with QuestNet, and I will remain with QuestNet, and my kids will be automatically networkers of QuestNet. Alright? And that's how you build a long-term business. That's how you build a business empire. That's how you create wealth with your people. That's how you make your leaders financially free. That's been my principle. And I've achieved this in the past 3 years only with one concept. Relationships. If you focus on building relationships, alright, no mosquito company can even come and bite anyone. Forget taking them. Remember that. Alright? And building relationships is not inviting them to the business presentation and doing a presentation. It's non-personal. Right? To me, building relationships is the teh tarik sessions. Teh tarik is a Malaysian drink. It's tea which they put in a glass and they do this. Right? Come to Malaysia, you'll understand how it tastes like. Okay? Right? It's the teh tarik sessions. It's sitting until 6 in the morning talking about life. It's playing with your leader's kids. It's having family days. It's having potlucks. You understand? That's when the foundation of relationships are built. Relationships are not built in a training room. It's not built in a business presentation room. It's not built when you're doing a one-on-one presentation. It's built when you have personal time. When your leaders see you taking time away to get personal with them. Alright? Being concerned about where they're going, sitting down, counseling with them. Going to their homes and eating some fantastic food. Trust me, that's what I love doing. Alright? Playing with their kids, knowing who they are. Remembering birthdays, sending out cards, sending out flowers on weddings, being there. When they are down, you're there to raise them up. I learned this the hard way. Trust me. When I lost my network in the year 2000, I realized that the only thing I never had was this. Relationships which will last. That is how I built my organization with a fantastic team of people I have worldwide today. And if you ask any of them, if tomorrow there's a mosquito company which looks slightly attractive, which will shut down in 3 months, will you go? No way. My relationship is more important. My people are more important. My integrity is more important. That's what Vijay has always instilled in me. And in the past 3 years, I'm proud to say I've built a network, right? Not only on 5-5, not only on the numbers, not only on the networking angle, but on the whole concept of building a family. Right? Then you can say it's a 25-year plan. Then you can say my network is going to be a 25-year plan network. You retire in 3 to 4 years, no problem. But you can still go and have potlucks. You can still get together. You can still go to the Bahamas together. You can still go buying together. We don't go shopping. Shopping means you can see and not buy. When I go out, my leaders, we go buying. You understand? That's how you should lead your life. So remember, the first pillar or the summary of this whole industry, in my opinion, right? Simple, simplicity, number 1. Never switch off. Be persistent, be consistent. Don't work for 1 week and take 3 weeks off. Right? Don't switch off mentally and be distracted with other things. It's hard for you to come back and build the momentum. So remain consistent. I guarantee you success in our industry. Number 2, edification. A module which I travel around the world and I do much more in depth. A module which I think you need to understand. It means empowering people. Right? You have no idea how powerful it is when I empower my leaders, my downlines. And I tell them, hey, you're lucky to be in his organization. He's a fantastic leader. Right? He's a fantastic speaker. Right? He may not be a public speaker. I say he's a fantastic speaker because he speaks from his heart. And you're lucky to be in his organization. Edification. Don't just learn it, practice it. Put it to practice for 3 months. You'll see a drastic difference in your whole networking business, in your whole network. Right? Number 3, get comfortable with this upline, downline relationship. If you don't have a working upline, find one now. Right? Work with somebody, seek from somebody, counsel with somebody. Alright, who has already made it, who's successful, your uplines. Okay? Right? Come to the V team. We have functions all over the world, events all over the world. But last but not least, my personal request to you. If you want to build something which is going to last for 25 years, if you want to build something which you can pass down to your children as passive income, if you want to build a much more powerful future for yourself, your family, your team, build it based on the fundamental foundation of relationships. Because QI, QuestNet, V-Team, GoldQuest, QVI are not companies with corporate people. Whether you believe this or not is the truth. We are one big happy family. Alright? That's why we're going all over the world. We're changing lives, we're making a difference. We are breaking records in this industry never done by any other company. And you can hold your team together, they will stay with you because they want to, regardless of the mosquito companies. Because mosquito companies don't last anyway. Right? QI, QuestNet, GoldQuest, VTeam, QVI. We have a 5-year track record. We have proven ourselves. And like Vijay says, even though we have achieved a tremendous amount of success, he always says, we are just only starting. Right? So I hope the past 1 hour has been beneficial to you. Like I said, these 4 pillars, I feel if you know this and you put it to practice, it's enough for you to become a powerful networker. You can read all the other books and watch all the other VCDs. But sometimes simplicity is what you need. Alright? And I condense this to 1 hour, so it's simple, it's basic. You can duplicate this in your basic trainings with your people. Alright? And we go much more in depth with these 4 pillars in all our events, VTeam events worldwide. So once again, thank you very much. Alright? And I see you on the beaches.